Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. It's lunchtime, it's autumn, it's overcast, and I'm just here in the city. And what I'll do is I'll just go for a little brief walk and talk, and we'll do a bit of a chat about a book summary. A very interesting book summary today, and the book summary is entitled The Blue Zones by Dan Buettner. Dan Buettner has put together an interesting book entitled The Blue Zones, and it's a book which focuses on health and what we can do to improve the length of years that we have to enjoy, and what others have done or are doing from different parts of the world, which are seeing interesting results. So the bottom line, I guess, from this book is to drink without getting drunk, love without suffering jealousy, eat without overindulging, and never argue, and once in a while, with great discretion, misbehave. What a lovely, lovely quote that is. Anyway, let's just cross over, make sure we don't get flattened by a light rail. And we'll head down to the harbour here and continue this walk and talk. So what's this book all about? This book, entitled The Blue Zones, has identified communities living in different parts of the world who are seeing longevity in their years and interesting results when it comes to health. And what we're trying to do is to tap into some of the learnings from these communities and see if there's a common thread that we can use, that we can draw to help us live a better and healthier lifestyle. I might just stand here for a little while. So the author's first structured point from this book is about age. And he says that age is all about lifestyle. Just the other day I went through a book summary where they talked about lifestyle and genes. But this book here focuses more on the lifestyle aspects in terms of what people need to do to live longer and better years. And the focus, as I said, from this author's perspective, is on lifestyle. But an interesting statistic that I wasn't quite aware of is that in order to live to 100, a lot of us want to live to 100, of course with health, but the author here gives us a statistic to mull over. Those who are going to live to 100, on average, are going to be 1 in 4,000 people. They're pretty skinny odds, you know. So for those who have dreams or plans of living, to a ripe old age, it's going to be an absolute rarity, So to live to 100, it's 1 in 4,000 in terms of the average chances for each and every one of us. But the interesting thing that the author raises is that in some blue zones, for example in Sardinia, the chances of living to 100 are 1 in 600. And then you ask yourself, what is it about Sardinia that is different from Sydney, for example, or other parts of the world? Why do the people in Sardinia get to live to 100 and have more probability of getting to 100 than people who live elsewhere in the world? So the author then starts to talk a little bit more about this, and he says that genes, our genetic makeup, accounts for about 25% of how old we'll get to live. And what really matters most, according to the author, what really matters most is your behaviours, your habits, your lifestyle. So the bottom line is, if you want to live to a ripe old age and be healthy, we basically need to slow down the aging process. And lifestyle, the way we live, the way we choose to live, has a big effect. Because living naturally, according to this author, adds approximately 10 years to the average life. So living naturally and not eating too many artificial foods, or living outside of a natural sort of cycle, according to this author, will add years to your life. So the second point that we talk about, the first point is all about lifestyle. The second point is a little bit more specific, and the author makes a very, very blunt point, and he says that we basically need to drink more and eat less. And when we talk about drinking more, we're talking about drinking more water. 5 to 6 glasses a day, so 2 to 3 litres of water a day, and eating less in terms of our calorie intake. And the sort of eating less calories that the author is referring to is to have a diet which is mainly vegetarian. So there you go. In terms of our eating habits, the author suggests that breakfast or lunch should be our main meal, and we should try and eat as much as we can until we get to the point where we feel 80% full. So the third thing that the author focuses on in terms of lessons from the blue zones throughout the world is that we should also have a strong circle of family and friends surrounding us, and to always, according to the author, put family first and let your family be your life's purpose. So the common thread across the blue zones throughout the world that are going to help you live longer and healthier than other people on average is drinking water, not eating many calories, living a natural life, and focusing on lifestyle in terms of exercise, of course, but also being surrounded by loving and nurturing family of multiple generations, and to put family first. So living long, according to the author and according to the research that they've been able to glean from these blue zones, is life isn't about health. Living long isn't about health, but it's about your psyche. It's really, really interesting to understand that living long isn't about health, but it's about your psyche. And to live a life which is purposeful is a key message coming from this. A lot of people talk about retirement. I hear people talking about retirement all the time. But the author here says that most Americans, an interesting statistic, most Americans die in the first year of retirement. Because what happens is that they finish work, they retire, and all of a sudden they've lost their purpose, and And for many people, stopping work means that they've lost their purpose. And the common thread across centenarians, according to this book, is that they don't stop working. They continue to work. But they continue to work in a measured way. They're not working and killing themselves working, but they continue to work and provide value and to be of value, and to partner with other people in terms of their growth and development. They live with family. It's important to have people who care for you and people who you care for in order to provide the purpose to give you that magical elixir to live a long and happy life. So you need to live with people. You need to be in a relationship. You need to provide for people around you, and you need to spend lots and lots of time with family. So the bottom line, according to the author, is that if you want to live a long and beautiful life, you need to be cared for, and you need to be loved, and you need to care and to love others as well. So there you go. Another Jim's 5am Club, and I hope that you can take something out of it. I know that I've taken a lot out of this one. It's a beautiful 5am Club with some powerful messages. So thank you very much for joining me on this lunchtime today, this overcast Sydney autumn day, where we've talked about the blue zones, those places in the world that are characterised by communities, by people who live long and happy and healthy lives because they've got the balance right, and they're surrounded by love and they're surrounded by purpose. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and let's learn to drink without getting drunk, to love without suffering jealousy, to eat without overindulging, and to never argue, and once in a while, with great discretion, to misbehave. Thank you, Yassas, Filakya, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.